Hello there, my name is Erich Hunter, and I wanted to make a quick video about pendulum healing for animals, and the topic is calming your animal with the pendulum. So animals can require calming for several reasons. So the first step is you got to determine, well, why does the animal require assistance with calming? Is the animal overstimulated? Is the animal fearful? Those are the two main areas where calming may be required, either with overstimulation or fear. And, based on what's going on, you would want to take a different approach, because if the animal is overstimulated, it's not that it's afraid that it requires to calm down, to become less anxious. It just has too much energy, or there's something going on that's stimulating it too much. So right away, you have to sort of take a different approach to healing with calming for animals based on what's going on. So let's take the first one of overstimulation. So let's say, a dog sees a squirrel and it just goes ballistic. It wants to chase it, and it's going crazy. So what you could do, now you may not be able to do this in the moment, assuming and not everyone carries a pendulum with them all the time, and it might be hard to navigate it while you're holding a dog chasing a squirrel. So you could use the time machine healing technique that I have in my book, Pendulum Master, to take you back to the time when the dog was chasing a squirrel, and then do this healing then. Or if you have the ability, if maybe your partner is holding the dog, you can use your fingers in lieu of a pendulum. But basically, so the animal is overstimulated, you take the pendulum, and you could ask something very simple, like decrease the amount of stimulation my dog gets from squirrels. Decrease the stimulation of the nervous system, and then just let it balance out. And then add on, if it's in the dog's highest good or for the highest good of the dog. Or decrease the sensitivity of my dog to squirrels. Then you just let the pendulum spin, and then you let it balance out. So, if there's hyperactivity going on, obviously, like let's say you have a dog that's hyperactive, you're going to have to exercise it more. There's no way around that. There are physiological needs that need to be met. But you could use the pendulum for calming by saying, help my dog, or I want my dog to be calm until I can get out to exercise it, if it's in the highest good of all concerned. And then just do the pendulum and then let it spin around until it balances out. But now you have to make sure to hold your end of the bargain, and actually go out and exercise it, or you can do something like, remove any excess energy in this moment so that the dog can stay calm and relax, and then let it balance out. But then later you have to go out and exercise the dog. You can't skip the actual physical part. All right, now the other type of calming is just like a general calming, and then we'll talk about anxiety next. So just generally, many animals do respond to the energy of the pendulum, and they'll just relax. So if you have a dog or a cat and they're just at home, you can just hold your pendulum over them, or if you have a horse that's kind of a little nervous or something, you can just hold your pendulum either in the air near it. Like this could spook a horse, so make sure to let the horse sniff it first and check it out first, where you start just whipping it around. Or you could use your fingers if you want to be more subtle. And just let the pendulum spin over the animal. A cat might try to play with it, so you could do this as a distance healing for a cat. I found the dogs, though, tend to respond the best to this. They just will lie down and fall asleep. You just hold the pendulum over them, let it spin around, and you'll see the animal become progressively more relaxed until basically they'll start just falling asleep and resting. That's like a common reaction. Okay, now what's the next situation? You might have some fear or anxiety. So let's say, for example, that your neighbor's dog, the neighbor has left the house and the dog is just barking nonstop. How could you increase the probability that the dog will stop barking? Well, you can use your pendulum and you can try to calm the dog down. So one thing you can do, and I've actually done this and it's been successful, you can do this. You just say like, send calming energy to the dog. And then just let the pendulum spin until it balances out. And then you can do something like send the energy of the dog's owners or the people who live with the dog, send that energy of those people to the dog so that the dog no longer feels alone or scared right now. And just have that as an intention, like a thought. And just let the pendulum spin and then let it balance out. Remove any sources or remove any source of anxiety for the dog. Help the dog feel safe. You can just make up your own commands. You just use your imagination, come up with commands, and have all the commands relate to making the animal feel safe, whatever it is you envision to help the animal feel secure, and then send those thought forms using the pendulum to the animal. And you'll be surprised. I had a neighbor whose dog was barking like crazy nonstop for hours, and I was like, what am I going to do? I was at my wit's end. I was like, wait, I've got my pendulum. I did that. Within 5 minutes, it stopped. The dog didn't bark for the rest of the night. You could also, use the pendulum. If you feel that the dog really does need to have the owner home and it's not fair for the dog, use the pendulum, say if it's in the highest good of all concern that the owner comes back. Comes back home, takes care of their animal. I'm not a person who's in favor of using the pendulum to not properly take care of your animals. Okay, let's say an animal is fearful. Something like a cat is fearful of going into a carrier case because every time they've done it, they've gone to a veterinarian. Well, you would probably want to use the emotional healing technique, which I teach in my courses. It's also in my new book, Pendulum Master. You would want to use that. And you would also want to use the general healing protocol that I teach in my animal healing class. But in addition to that, just, for this video right away, you can do something like remove, or how about this, neutralize any anxiety that my cat feels about going into the carrier case. If it's in my cat's highest good and the highest good of all concerned, then just let the pendulum spin around until it goes side to side. Help my cat to feel safe in the carrier case. And then just let the pendulum spin around until it goes side to side. And for those of you who are new to pendulum healing, when the pendulum spins around, it's building up energy. And then the command you say is a thought form that's going into an energy field. And then when it goes side to side, that command has been sent off into the world for the thought form to take root in the ether and have an effect on reality, on influencing the probability of things occurring in reality. You can, say remove any fear that my cat has of going in the carrier. And come up with your own commands. Like maybe there was some traumatic situation that happened once before, and you could say, neutralize any negative thoughts, emotions, or memories my cat has about going to the veterinarian. If it's in my cat's highest good and the highest good of all concerned. I mean, your cat could have a legitimate reason why it doesn't want to go to the vet, but if it's just, it was scared one time and now it never wants to go, try that out. It sounds a little odd that something like that would work, but animals do have emotions, they do have feelings, and they do have thought forms. So you can affect their energetic, emotional bodies using the pendulum in positive ways or in helpful ways that can help to heal them. Like a horse that spooks a lot, you can use the pendulum and say, increase the consciousness level of my horse to the highest level as possible. That way the horse becomes more conscious and less fear-based. It's more of an awareness of things going on. You could also say, increase the perceptual awareness of my horse to the highest level possible so that it can distinguish dangerous things in the environment from safe or neutral things in the environment. You want to increase its ability to discriminate so that the horse stops just responding out of fear, thinking that every little thing is a predator, every little bag, every little hat, every little blowing of the wind is some lion in the bushes, and that the horse can discriminate and make judgments. So use the pendulum to help with that, and just make commands related to that. Now, just a little side note there before we finish this video. Remember, if you're dealing with something like a horse that bolts or spooks, that's potentially a life-threatening situation for you. So please use extreme care, and also consult with professional animal behaviorists, horse trainers, whoever you need, veterinarians, to help you. Whenever you're dealing with animals that require calming, make sure that you stay safe and that you assess any risk to you or other people, because you don't want to, you don't want to have anything happen. So just use common sense and take some safety precautions. All right, so to wrap this little video up, you can use your pendulum, or you can use your fingers as a pendulum to affect a calming response in animals. Determine why the animal needs to be calmed, like what is the stimulus that's making it so that the animal is not calm, and then address any of your pendulum healing towards that stimulus, towards neutralizing that stimulus, ameliorating it, shifting the focus of the animal, maybe increasing the consciousness of the animal, neutralizing any negativity the animal experienced. Whatever it is you think will help to make the animal more calm. Also, if you are calm or can be calmed, you can send a calming energy to the animal. You can either just do it psychically, telepathically, or with the pendulum. And also, just the spinning of the pendulum itself has a calming effect on both people and animals. So that is something to be aware of right there. Well, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Bye.